Hello, hello, hello! It's Jake here again, and I'm bringing you the PS4 roundup for May. God, May 2019. Can you believe that next month we're already halfway through 2019? This year is just racing by. Which brings us to our first game, Team Sonic Racing. It's a kart racing game featuring the characters of Sega's Sonic the Hedgehog series. It plays in kind of exactly the same way as Mario Kart, but with Sonic characters. In a market that is so dominated by Mario Kart, Team Sonic Racing was always going to be compared to it, but to be honest, it looks like it stands up on its own pretty well. Unlike Mario Kart, there are team-based mechanics, and every race features 12 racers who are divided into teams of 3. Anyone on your team who's leading the pack is going to make a slipstream that then you and your teammates can use for a speed boost. So it means your best tactic is actually to stick together, and if you fall behind, having a teammate in front of you will make it easier to catch up. I'm genuinely a Sonic the Hedgehog fan, and I'll be relieved just to spend a little time with the original design Sonic, and not that movie one. Next up is Rage 2, a fun-loving and self-aware sci-fi RPG brought to us by Bethesda and Avalanche Studios. You might recognise the name Avalanche as the studio that brought you the Just Cause series, and it looks like this game is set to feature just as much over-the-top violence and physics-bending fun. It's spilling with all kinds of upgradable weapons and powers and vehicles, but introduces them gradually enough that nothing feels like it's wasted. The overdrive system encourages you to use different combinations of weapons, powers, and other attacks to rack up big combos and increase your overdrive gauge. Then use that energy to temporarily power up your weapons. From what I've seen, the story is also going to be alright, but when a game has trailer footage like this, I don't think any of us is seriously considering buying it for the storyline. This just looks like a really, really fun game. It's wild, it's colourful, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. Next up, we're going from the distant future to the not-so-distant past with Sniper Elite V2 Remastered. This is a remastered re-release of Sniper Elite V2, which was a tactical stealth shooter released in 2012. You play as Lieutenant Carl Fairburn, an American OSS officer and skilled sniper, and follow his story through a fictionalized version of World War II. The game uses real locations and real historical battles, but weaves its own fictional story through it. The remastered version of this game heavily improves the graphics for modern systems and also includes multiple playable characters, some of who were only available in DLC in the game's initial release. You'll also find a new photo mode available, which you can use to take screenshots of your meticulously planned missions. These games really have a big cult following, so it was only a matter of time before they were remastered, especially while remastered games are so popular. Definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up, Atelier Lulua, the Scion of Arland. That's quite a mouthful, right? This game is the next installment in the Arland trilogy series of Atelier games. Stay with me. A big theme in these games is alchemy, exploring the game world to collect up items to combine into new and better items. The games follow a turn-based combat, which brings the items you create into play. While this installation has similar gameplay to previous games in the Arland series, it also features new battle and exploration systems. The story follows Elmarulia, who dreams of surpassing her mother as an amazing alchemist. One day, she comes across a book that only she can read, and decides that deciphering the book is the best way to follow her journey. This is a JRPG down to the very core, and if you're not a big fan of anime or Japanese games, maybe sidestep this one. But if that sounds like a bit of you, you're going to have a ball with this game. Next up, Hollow Knight, which finally has a physical release for the PS4. Hollow Knight is a Metroidvania that was partially funded through a Kickstarter and tells the story of a knight on a quest to uncover the secrets of an abandoned kingdom. The art style is beautiful, the gameplay is wonderful, and it's honestly just one of the most memorable indie titles out there right now. You take up the mantle of an adorable, silent little protagonist knight as they explore the world of Hallownest. The world building in this game is incredible, and the graphics are a big part of why the Hallownest feels so deep, rich, and just enjoyable to play in. The game plays in a very open-ended kind of way, and there's plenty of story for you to discover for yourself if you're willing to invest in the gameplay. So that's May. What were you most excited about this month? Let us know in the comments below, and for all the latest games and films, visit us in-store or at webuy.com. See you next time. CeX.